Okay, we're looking ahead to tomorrow night's big game in Tallaght. Stevie, I don't think there's any getting away. If we go up there and win, we're going to be in a mix, or people should put us into the talk of a title mix anyway, because the table won't lie if we...
Yeah, it's very tight, but there's loads and loads to be done between now and that thought in regards, trying to beat the best team in the country in their own patch, where we haven't been successful there in recent times. So massive task ahead. They've had a 2-week sort of buffer. I'm sure their thought process would be like, we're recharging. We have a 9-game run in now, no cup sort of distractions, and to retain our title, to go for 4 in a row. So I'm expecting a big sort of reaction from them in relation to a 9-game league. I'm sure that's what they're targeting. And probably fresh bodies back, injuries that the big players that they've had out probably being welcomed back. So on our side of it, we have good bodies now, real good quality. It's the healthiest we've been, most competitive we've been on the training pitch, and very hard picking a team. And that's the way I want it. That's the way we want it, and we have good options coming off the bench. So looking forward to the game tomorrow night, and then I suppose the last 9 games and the cup will determine what type of season it's been for us and for a lot of teams. It's been that tight. If you stopped it now, there'd be a lot of teams sort of feeling a little bit indifferent about the season, but fast forward 7 or 8 games, the picture could be a whole lot different, and that's the beauty of the league this season. There's a lot of teams being very competitive, and the last 9 games, as I said, the last sort of round of games will dictate a lot of everybody's season, I suppose.
From you mentioned from Rovers, obviously from their point of view, they're going for 4 in a row, and they've had a couple of weeks now to sort of recover. But from everybody else's point of view and everybody else's perspective, they've won it, say, the last 3 years. This is probably the best chance for somebody to come and really, like, we're into the run in now, and it's wide open, isn't it? Yeah,
exactly. There's plenty of teams up there pitching, and there's plenty of teams that's shown they can slip up, and plenty of teams that have shown that they go on a run. Like, our focus is solely on us and what performance we bring. We've had 2 clean sheets the last 2 weeks, 2 1-0 wins. We've sort of lost 2 of our last 14, I think. So we're in a good run. We've won 8, drawn 4, and lost 2 of our last 14 games. So we just need to keep that sort of consistency going between now and the end of the season, see where it takes us. Not putting any ceiling on it for us, but I also know that the other clubs, from where they're at, have a right to be up there pitching, whereas I think we're still very much sort of punching and a work in progress, and we just keep sort of trying to I suppose punch above our weight.
A win up there would give it's 4 years. It's a strange, because we've such a great record up there. It's hard to believe it's 4 years since we won in Tallaght, but a win up there would give this group huge belief, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it would. Look, we've obviously beaten them the last twice at Oriel since we've last played at Tallaght, so it would give us big belief. It's just we want to go and have personality and show performance in a really good arena, good surface, and it's a big opportunity for us to show personality and grasp it and go and put on a performance. And that doesn't necessarily, a result doesn't necessarily follow a good performance, a performance full of personality, but it gives you a good chance. And that's mainly what I'm looking at, is like, what are we like from a personality point of view, and just a hunger for the job in hand. We know they're going to have good passages, know they're going to have good spells. We need to embrace that and enjoy being in, as I said to them this morning, enjoy being in a good quality match, and rolling with the punches.
Yeah, you mentioned options. Robbie Benson obviously played an hour for the 19s last Sunday, which was brilliant. His first game since May the 1st, which great to have Robbie back at such a pivotal part of the campaign.
Yeah, look, Robbie hasn't really played a game, I would say, had a run since, you're talking around probably 14 months now. So it's good. We need to just look after him, make sure that he can have a big influence at the back end of this season. But it's great that he's come through that hour unscathed last Sunday, and he's looking good in training. So it'll be good to sort of keep drip feeding him into our bit of action and getting weeks of training under his belt. Because, as I said, from a flow and a rhythm point of view, he hasn't had consecutive week sessions in well over a year. But brilliant to have him back.
It's sort of flipped. This time last year we were losing bodies and they were nearly dropping on a weekly basis, whereas touch wood, it's sort of flipped. We're getting them back now at coming into
yeah,
the
even John Mountney's back, you know, taking part a little bit today, so he's way ahead of schedule. He'll be sort of be sort of eased back into the group as well. So Keith is the only sort of one that will still be another sort of few weeks away, and then everyone else. So you'd like to think coming into the last maybe month, 6 weeks of the league, you know, touch wood, all things being equal, or if we carry a little bit of luck from now to then, that we'll have a clean bill of health for the whole squad.
Yeah, I have to ask you with the cup draw on Tuesday. I'm sure you had a smile when Galway United was pulled out.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And there's a real big buzz. The amount of messages I got off people from home, and what I wouldn't usually in relation to playing Galway or that. So obviously they're riding the crest of a wave. There's a real good buzz around there. They've nearly had a near on flawless season, going to win the league and then a cup quarter final. So there'll be an electric atmosphere, a massive game, and just as I said, judging off the reaction to the draw, it's going to be a really, really good occasion and a big occasion in
Loads
Galway.
of wee subplots. You're obviously from Galway. John Caulfield, synonymous with Cork City and Dundalk and FAI Cup. Pat, Darryl against his brother.
Yeah,
you know,
lots of.
It's one of those. There's been plenty of stories around it that week.
Yeah, lots of intrigue, really lots, and that's the way you want it. A good place to play as well, the MDT Park. So, looking forward to it. But we have a massive 2 games pre that. Obviously, then we go into the international break, but we have a big 2 league games starting. None bigger. They don't come bigger than away at Rovers tomorrow. So, really looking forward to that.
It's a massive fortnight. Are you happy with where we are going to? Obviously, yeah, we'd all prefer to be 10 points clear at the top, but we're going into the run in. We're in the mix. Are you happy with the
yeah,
position?
well, our like we set out at the start of the season, like to be in the mix come the back end, no matter what way that works out. And we're in the mix at the back end for European positions for the cup. We're in the quarterfinals of the cup, so that's our target. That's where we should be. Like, we're having a really good season if we're in the mix for in around those positions come the last round of games and sort of deep into the cup, and that's where we're at. So we're now sort of coming towards the back end of August, and as I said, a lot will be decided between the back end of August now and the end of October, start of November.
Yep, good stuff.
Thanks, you.
Cheers.